Here are two powerful traffic sources that have a combined reach of 1,300,000 visitors every month. Both of them are free to use, and one will even pay you at least $500 for your submission. Welcome to ProfitCopilot.com. My name is Mick Meaney, and I share digital marketing strategies so you can have a fulfilling business that provides you with the lifestyle and the peace of mind that you and your family deserve. Now, to get the best results from today's traffic sources, you need to implement the right strategy. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll give you the first traffic source now, then I'll show you how to implement the strategy, and then I'll give you a second traffic source that has even more traffic than this one. So this one, the first traffic source, has over 500,000, over 500,000 visits every month. 46% of the traffic from the United States, followed by Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, and Netherlands. Very powerful traffic. We can see that 51% is direct, 11% from referrals, 25% from search engines, and 8% from social media. How much of that search traffic is organic? 100%. That's very good for you. So it makes sense for you to get featured on this website. On social media, Pocket tends to send most of the traffic, followed by Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, and YouTube. This is the traffic source. It's Longreadscom, but don't go there just yet. You need the right strategy, otherwise you won't get any traffic. So who is this for? Why does the website exist, and how can you benefit from it? Well, if we take a look at the About Us page, you can see it was founded in 2009, and it's really about in-depth reporting, interviews, profiles, podcasts, essays, and criticism. So these guys are a very credible website. They have an enormous level of domain authority. But what does that mean for you, and how can you benefit from it? Well, let's get down into it, because if we take the time to explore what's going on this platform, you're going to see that a lot of the content here is long form, as the name would suggest. For example, if we take a look at this piece of content, well, we can probably scroll forever. It's a pretty comprehensive piece of content, but what I want you to pay attention to is this. So first of all, you can see that the author here, well, they're linking out to a website. Not only that, if we take a look at the code, we can see that it is a do follow link. So it's going to pass link juice. Not only that, this author has also been paid for the contribution. So there are 3 solid reasons for you to consider this as part of your marketing strategy. Now, this site is going to constantly ask you to subscribe and join. Listen, you don't need to do that. Let's take a look at the support us button that it will keep trying to get you to click on. So don't worry about any of this. So you don't need to join to contribute content. Of course, if you want to support the website, why not, right? But if you just want to publish there and you don't have the budget for that, don't worry. It doesn't cost anything to publish. So what I want you to do here is be a little bit strategic about this. So we have this search icon. Click on that. Now I want you to type in a seed keyword that is relevant to your niche. So for me, I might type in marketing. And what I'm going to do now is see what type of angle other authors have used to get their content featured on this website for that key phrase. Now, depending on how much content it brings back, depending on how much competition already exists on this site, you might want to drill down a little bit further. So we might want to introduce a long tail key phrase. So I might add marketing media. Let's see what we've got. Okay, this is a good headline. Social media managers are first responders. So there we can see the angle that has been used for this piece of content. Let's take a look at how well it's performing. So, oops. Oh, actually, it's redirected me to Medium. So that tells us, that's interesting. This is something I haven't come across before. It looks like, well, they're not just allowing us to contribute content for publication on this website. It looks like they're linking out to other people's content, to other people's websites as well. In fact, if I click this read the story, it's going to take me directly to Medium. There we go. So what we would do is go through as many articles as we can, spend the time to examine them and see the angles, see the structure, see how they're linking out, and you want to follow a similar theme and a similar structure. Now, don't copy, obviously you're not going to do that, but you are going to be inspired by it. So once you have an idea of what your story is going to be, which I'll show you how to get made very quickly, very easily in a couple of minutes. We don't need to spend days writing 2,000 words. We can do it in a couple of hours if we want to. So once we have an idea of what we're going to write a story about, how do we get it in front of the audience? How do we contribute? Well, let's go back to the front page and then scroll right down to the very bottom. We have this footer navigation menu. So if you click on submissions, it's going to take you to a page that it'll tell you exactly what you need to do to get featured. Here, if we want to publish an article that has already been published elsewhere, and you want that for the editor's picks consideration, then tag them on Twitter with @longreads or share the story using the longreads hashtag. Or you can drop them an email at hello@longreads.com. Now, for best results, for maximum exposure, I'm going to recommend that you pitch an original story, and they will also pay you. Rates start at $500 and then will increase as the level of reporting and the quality of your story increases. So how do you get content done really quickly, really easily? Well, let me show you an example. So the other day, I created this piece of content about depression and some solutions for that. Now, if we take a look through this, we can see that it's a pretty comprehensive piece of content. In fact, there are over 1,600 words in this article, and it took me maybe just over an hour. And to be honest, most of that time was spent fact checking. So if you submit to Longreads, be aware that your piece of content will be fact checked. So you have to ensure that you're providing the most accurate content that you can. So just like I've done with this piece of content. So how are we going to create content? Well, let me show you the tool that I am using. It's called Conversionai. I'm going to put an affiliate link in the description. I strongly recommend it. However, there are some free options available. What I'll do is put a link to another video about all the options out there so you can go ahead and make up your own mind. So this is the piece of content inside Conversion.ai. So you can see how I structured it. All I've done here is really ask questions. So how common is depression? And then I've clicked the compose button and it's generated, let me show you, there you go. It's generating a bunch of content for me automatically. So all I have to do is just get rid of any duplicates that it might produce and then fact check. And then if I want it to generate more, I just click compose and there it goes. It just generates a whole heap of content that does pass copyscape and plagiarism checkers. So it's perfectly fine. So once you have your piece of content ready to go, then submit it to longreads.com. Just drop them an email. And now let me show you another website to use. So this is the second traffic source. And this one gets over 700,000 visits a month. 49% from the United States, 16% from Jersey, which we don't really see very often, do we? Then 6% from the UK, 3% from Australia, 3% from Canada. A lot of the traffic is direct. Not a lot happening in search engines or social media. But of that, 8%, 100% is organic. So good stuff. Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, Messenger, and Dig all sending traffic too. So this is the second traffic source. It's called Longformorg. Now, the thing with this website is they don't publish anything themselves. So if we click this, it's going to take us to another website. So there we go. Well, it looks like just a magazine website. So we can see that they're not really hosting any content themselves. They're more of an aggregator where they're sending traffic to other people's websites. So that gives us an opportunity, right? As long as we are creating long form content, so at least 1,000 words, really you want to be in the 2,000 word range, then you're going to probably get more interest and be taken more seriously. Now, they do tend to prefer to link out to some of the big names out there, like The Guardian or Wired. Of course, you can't compete with those guys, but if we go to the writers section, so if we click here, let's go to, well, look at how many writers there are. Let's choose one at random. Let's go with this guy. Let's see if he's contributing content to a smaller website. Let's see what he's doing. Let's click on this link. Where's it sending us to? Medium again. So this guy is publishing probably on his own Medium profile and then submitting it for contribution here. So let's just click this one. Let's see if it's going to take us back to Medium again. Yeah, I think that's Medium. Yep, there we go. Okay, so that tells us we don't need to be one of the big name websites. We don't need to be the New York Times. We don't have to worry about that, because look at how many authors have contributed at least 5 posts. It's a lot, right? So there's just pages and pages of authors, and not all of these guys write for big publications. So give it a go. You never know what might happen. Okay, so if you want to see what type of content they publish relating to your niche, go to the search bar, type in something that's relevant to your industry, and now we can see what type of angle other people are using, and we can be inspired by this. So how companies learn your secrets. I like that. That's a really smart angle, because it alludes that the reader is going to learn some little known insider information. So that could be a good angle to use. So when you have your angle figured out, how do you get published? Well, click the suggest article button, put in a link to your article, and then put in your angle about why they should recommend it, and then choose if you are the writer, the editor, or the publisher, or both. And if you want to go deep with traffic generation, then I have a free 4-day traffic intensive course. Just scroll down to the description, click that link if you want to get it. And also, so you don't miss out on any upcoming marketing strategies from me, then subscribe to the channel and remember to click that little notification bell so you don't miss out. Thank you for watching. Take care.